Democrats and Republicans, what Grandma would have to say to you. You better get along or you might not have nothing left to fight over. Thugs and troublemakers. Democrats and Republicans, you better get along or there's not going to be much or anything to get along with. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, is the world falling apart? What is happening in our country and in our world? Well, I'm going to give you Grandma's perspective. Okay, and I just want to share with you, I just got in and I'm a sweaty mess. I did my 5-mile run out here in the humidity and heat. Of course, y'all know I live in the South and it's hot and humid here. But I had a wonderful, wonderful run. I just loved it. And so I'm a mess here and I'm okay. I always say I may be a mess, but I'm a beautiful mess. So what would Grandma say about all that's going on? She'd say, you better get along or you're not going to have nothing to fight over. And you know what? I think that is so true. There's so much divisiveness going on right now. You know, I talk from my spirit, and normally I talk about how you can reach your dreams, how to reach your goals, how to live your best life, how to have your best relationships. And then I also talk about toxic relationships from my perspective. I don't give advice, I don't give ideas, I don't give suggestions. I just tell you how I see my life, and I inspire others. I hope to inspire others to find their own way to live their best life. But the way I live my life is not a suggestion for you to live your life or make the decisions my way. So I'm just sharing you my perspective, and today I am sharing you Grandma's perspective, okay? So if Grandma was here, this is what she'd say again: you better get along if you know what's good for you. And so, you know, I see this chaos going on in the world. You know, we have basically two groups here. We have Democrats and we have Republicans. And normally I do not talk politics. I do not. That's not my lane. I stay out of my lane because, you know, you get bumped when you go into that lane that you're not supposed to be in. So I'm giving you my slant on things, okay? And I talk from my spirit, and I feel that my spirit, God, has spoken to my soul to speak and try to bring common sense wisdom about. And so from Grandma's porch out here, I'm going to give you that perspective, okay? And so I believe you have these two groups of people who have many, many opposing issues, and they're even disagreeing on things that they agree about just to be disagreeable. And so I believe that they better get along, because you know what? They were getting along pretty much okay until maybe the last few years. And then what has happened is you got the troublemakers, as Grandma called them. You got the thugs out there that have come into the room where people were basically getting along and doing well together, even with opposing viewpoints. Okay, and then the troublemakers started stirring the pot and started whispering in everybody's ears. And before you know it, you had everybody fighting. A lot of times they didn't even know what they were fighting about. And they're tearing up the room, so to speak. And the thugs are just stepping back. Well, the thugs are there kind of guarding their position, but the troublemakers are just kind of stepping back, watching and laughing and laughing and laughing as the in my opinion, the Democrats and Republicans are just going at it in this room, not getting along, and it seems like everything is being torn up as a result. Everything good is being torn up. And, you know, you don't have to tear down the good in order to build new good. And you keep the good and you just replace the bad with the good. But tearing it down is not going to work. Okay, you've got divisive people out there that don't want peace. They don't want harmony because, well, if they can get everybody fighting and everybody destroying everything, then they can step in at that point and take over. I call them thugs, or Grandma would call them thugs. Thugs and troublemakers. But thugs are far worse than troublemakers. Thugs actually are the ones that take over. The troublemakers do the dirty work, and the thugs come in and take over. And so Grandma would say she'd run them out of town, first of all. If Grandma was president, she'd run all the bad people out of town, and she'd make everybody get along. But unfortunately, Grandma's not here, and Grandma is not the president. Okay, but that's how Grandma would do it. She'd make them all be good. She'd say, you sit there, and you're going to be good. And, you know, very common sense wisdom. Very, very basic, very basic. But you know what? We're not going to have anything to fight over. And there's not going to be any more Democrats or Republicans, in my opinion, at the end of the day, so to speak, if people don't start working together. And so what people think they're fighting for, they're going to lose completely. And so that is my opinion on this issue. That would be Grandma's opinion, I believe, is that we must unify. The Democrats and the Republicans with opposing viewpoints must unify against the troublemakers and the thugs. And if they don't, they're not going to have anything to unify over. Okay, so I believe that I am here to share and to help y'all live your best lives and to find your own way. And I don't talk politics. Y'all know that. I don't talk politics. And so I'm probably going to get a lot of nasty comments eventually on this video and maybe the videos that follow, because, well, I feel led to talk from my spirit, to talk from my soul. And I feel that this is coming, and for me to hold it back and not talk about it is wrong, in my opinion. I need to talk about it and share with y'all that we all need to get along. And don't let the troublemakers come in here and stir up the pot. And they're at all levels, okay? From the lowest level to the highest, almost the highest levels. And so we have got to unify and come together as one for good, not for bad. And so identify the troublemakers in the room. Identify the thugs in the room. And as Grandma would say, she'd chase them right out of that room. Boy, they'd never come back. They'd be out of town. They had packed their suitcases. Well, they wouldn't have even had time to pack their suitcases. They'd be so far gone. And so I believe that. I believe that. We have too much good to lose. And that good will be gone. That good will be gone. Everything that wonderful and beautiful that we know can be gone. Just because we're so used to it and we take all these wonderful blessings for granted doesn't mean that they can't dry up and disappear overnight. And so I'm telling you from my soul, from my heart, I'm the woman that talks about Grandma. I'm the woman that talks about living your best life. I'm the woman that talks about, you know, just all kinds of good stuff. How to cook pizza, how to cook butter pizza. But I'm also that woman that talks from the soul, that talks from the spirit. And so you gotta get along. Democrats and Republicans, you better get along. Come together, unify, identify the troublemakers in the room, and chase them out. As Grandma would say, from my house to yours, may God bless y'all, and I hope to talk to y'all soon again. Bye-bye.